Our state, Washington State, recently legalized marijuana. So when the legislature tells the authorities how to enforce the law, it'll be the responsibility of the local police and sheriffs to enforce the law. So they'll have joint responsibility. I saw this recipe for marijuana brownies on YouTube. So the person making the recipe will do baking before and after the recipe is done. And as for generations, the authorities have tried to put a lid on marijuana operations. If a diabetic has one of those marijuana brownies or marijuana cookies, they'll have to watch their blood sugar. When the smokers were infants, of course, they're in a high chair. Of course, some of those criminals dealing in marijuana are not that smart. They get weeded out. There's these two guys are friends, and they deal with marijuana. They're best buds. I guess you could say the USA has gone to pot. There's a sign at the drug rehab clinic that says, "Stay off the grass." Some people tried to smuggle a lot of marijuana into the United States in a large vehicle. You could say this was a cannabis. I was wondering if we should send marijuana cookies and brownies with a rocket ship if it ever goes to Mars. Of course, you know that slang term for them is space cakes. I don't know if we should do that because they'll already be in orbit and be in space. For those who love to smoke marijuana, there's some jobs out there for you. You should work at a place that makes a lot of bread and you get paid to do some baking. Or you can work on the road crew. When they fix the bridge, you can work on the joints. Of course, the stoners will be disappointed when people clean up the garden because they're doing a bit of weed killing. The funny thing about those marijuana brownies and marijuana cookies, they set up a vicious cycle. First eat the cookie or the brownie, you get stoned, then you have the munchies, then you eat more cookies and more brownies, you get stoned, you get the munchies, and it goes around and around. Funny thing about those marijuana plants, some of them are a growing concern. There is this fellow who claimed he saw a marijuana grow, but the police didn't know whether or not to believe him. They were dubious. There was this man caught with a marijuana cigar in the park. The cops said, "Well, you're in trouble. I gotta be blunt." The cops searched this fellow's car and they found some weed in the trunk. He said, "I'm innocent. This whole thing was a plant." Of course, the places that supply marijuana growers, they can be pretty seedy, and many growers have high hopes for their grow operation.